Very upset Karen at the coin shop. I'm going to explain what happened with this one. Mother came in. Mother was the one who bought the silver, not even from us. But the daughter took her into our coin shop and screamed at us. I'm going to tell you what happened with this one. Going to also give you an update what's going on at the shop, my friends. I got the wheat pennies back in stock. I'm doing another flash deal, my friends, for the 40s and 50s. For the folks that bought them before, you know my wheat pennies are in good shapes. These are 40s and 50s, my friends. I got more tubes back in stock, ready for sale. I'll let you know the price later in the video. It's a hot price right now. I got 4 copper ounces on the package deal. We will talk about that. Let's get into this. I just need your thumbs up, my friends. Make sure you're subscribed. We do weekly giveaways. Let's just get into it. I was supposed to have off today. Most of you folks know I've not been feeling good for the last couple weeks. I am feeling better. Thank you for all the well wishes that you folks have brought to me the past couple weeks. Okay? Thank you. I'm feeling a lot better today. Feeling better every day. But I've been here every single day. It don't matter if I was sick. I've been here every single day. Not missed one day. And I'm very proud of that. And I'm very proud of tomorrow will be my 90% silver market watch report. 98 weeks in a row I've been doing that report for you. So stay tuned to tomorrow for that report to come out. What happened? I got a phone call. Owner was gone. It always seems to happen when the owner's gone and I'm supposed to have the day off, right? Always it seems to work out this way. Got a phone call from the shop. Say, I need your help, Chris. We got another hot-headed person in the shop. So it's going to take me about 45 minutes to get there, I said. I still got to take a shower. I said, they're just going to have to wait. So, yeah, I drug my butt a little bit more than I should have. But I took my sweet time getting down to the shop. So, this woman comes out. She was waiting for us, along with her mother. Her mother's 92 years old. Okay? That's step number 1. The mother bought a lot of silver in a very short period of time. The mother bought a lot of silver back when it was about $106, $109 an ounce. So we had to go back to January to find these numbers. Okay, very short period of time that this mother bought a lot of silver. She had 4 different receipts. Not one receipt was even our coin shop. They were a little bit north of us. I'll put it that way. These coin shops. Woman bought 20,000 here, 20,000 there, 30,000 here, another 20,000 there. You get the idea, dropping a lot of money all at one time. We all know what has happened since then. Silver has plummeted. And this woman, her daughter comes in with her mother, says, I got all this silver in my car, and we want to sell it all. I said, okay, we can do that. But why would you want to sell it? I said, you need to sell it. Now I'm more talking to the mother. And I finally had to tell this woman, her daughter, to shut up. Maybe not in so many choose words like that, but I had to say, hush a minute. Let me find out some information what's going on. So I asked the older woman, I said, what got you into silver? Well, my friends told me I should get into silver. I've been watching some YouTube videos. I've been watching some other videos on social media about silver. I want to get rich. That's the thing right there, my friends. There are too many people in this field who's coming into this market thinking you're going to get rich off of precious metals. Now, I know some people are going to disagree with me. That's fine. No problems. I have never said on this channel, you're going to get rich off of silver and gold, platinum, or copper. Never said that. It's a hedge against inflation. It always has been. Now, the question is, can you become rich? Okay, fine. Yeah, you could. Okay? In dollar terms. But we all know what's happening to the U.S. dollar. The dollar, is eating away. Inflation's eating away with it. We keep seeing inflation. Shrinkflation, meaning products are getting smaller. less ounces, less of everything, my friends, but the price stays the same, or the price eventually creeps back up along with the shrinkflation. So this is where this woman's mindset was, 92 years old. And I said, do you realize if you sold today, you're going to lose money? So now the new question is, do you need the money today? And the older woman said, no. Then I said, then I came out very strong, and I was probably over strong. Don't sell, don't sell, don't sell. Then the daughter says, well, if she don't sell, it goes down more. She's going to lose more money. You don't lose if you don't sell, right? She said, well, then how fast is it going to go back up? I don't know that. I don't have a crystal ball. Okay, I don't have a crystal ball when it's going to go up, when it's going to tank. If anybody out there says they do, they're lying to you. They're lying to you. Plain and simple. I need to urge my subscribers. I need to urge my viewers. If you're still a viewer, come hit the like button. Come to subscribe on this channel. Because the truth is, most likely you're not going to get rich off of silver, gold, platinum, or copper. It's a hedge against inflation. Could it spike up again? Okay, then what are you going to do with the cash? You have a plan. Okay, that's the thing we all got to understand. You have a plan for the cash. If your plan is to get super rich, and most likely you're going to be in the wrong field. Silver, gold, platinum, and copper are not for you then. If you're planning to get rich off of it, sorry, buttercups. Most likely it's not going to happen. Silver, gold, platinum, and copper are to protect the money that you have now. And this is what I was trying to explain to this so-called Karen. So she's screaming at me, okay? She's screaming at me. I said, time out. So then I started talking to the mother again. And I said, ma'am, do you remember the movie Home Alone? And I'm not going to go through all the script of Home Alone when Kevin went to go get his groceries. I've told this story over and over and over again on this channel. And I explained that story. I says, those prices back then, if you took the price of silver back then, silver was about $5 an ounce. When that movie came out, what Kevin bought for those groceries would have cost about 4 ounces of silver back then. Speed it up until today's terms. Silver's right around $60 an ounce. Little under that as recording of this video. You bought those same products that Kevin bought. You would need about an ounce and a half of silver today. Roughly. But if you kept a $20 bill on your mattress, where the heck are you going to get the other funds from? Where are you going to get the other funds from? Because you need more cash. So what is that telling us? The dollar is dying. It's eating away. Inflation's taking over, my friends. And now I know I'm getting to this other Karen now at this point. I know the light bulb is starting to come on. So at this point, I'm offering them a drink. And I'm going more into it with them. And I says, why are you coming in here and screaming at us when we didn't even sell you an ounce of silver yet? Why? Well, the other places are too far to drive. So you're coming in here and screaming at us. I said, I would advise your mother not to buy so much at one time. My friends, I don't care if you have $5 to spend. I don't care if you have $500 to spend. Somewhere in the middle of $5 and $500, or you have $20,000 to spend on silver right now. That has no bearing of what people can afford to buy at one time. No matter how much you have to spend, you don't have to do it all one day. So for an example, if you have $1,000 right now that you want to spend on silver or any precious metals or some copper maybe, you don't have to do it all at one whack. Then we get people say, well, what happens if it goes up? This is what this woman was saying now. What happens if it goes up? Well, then it goes up. But the price go down a little bit. So I said, so for an example, if you bought today, if your mother bought more silver today, and she would bring her cost average down of the higher ones. Yeah, she got caught up in the high. She got caught up in the higher scale of the silver price. Now we can all debate of why it's coming back down, why I think it's coming back down, why some people think it's going right back up. My friends, I think it went up too high all at one time, especially with the silver. We know there's manipulation out there. That's been proven. Banks have got fined because of manipulation. They're trying to squeeze us out of it. Trying to squeeze the weak hands out of the metals. So then this Karen lady, and I don't know if her name's Karen, but she acted like a Karen, all right? It's come in screaming, yelling, bitching, whatever you want to say. And I'm bringing her tone down quite a bit at this point. Trying to explain what the metals are for. As if you sold today, you would take so much of a loss right now. If you do not need to sell, don't sell. As if you can afford to buy a little bit today, bring the cost average down. Then the mother, the older lady, the 92-year-old lady says, well, I got $5,000 in my wallet. I says, I really don't want to hear how much you have. You really don't want to be announcing you're carrying $5K on you. And I said, what made you bring $5K today? He says, well, I was hoping someone's going to explain this to my daughter. And I was going to come in and get $5K. I said, why do you want to spend $5K today? Well, silver's down. Okay, fine. You got $5K. I says, why not spend like $1,000 or $1,500 to today? I says, come back next week. Then the one that's been screaming at me all this time, she says, well, what happens if this goes back up? I says, now you're getting it. Now you're getting it, like I said. The light bulbs come on. She says, okay, that theory is possible. It could go back up. But I said, I don't think it's going back up to 109 tomorrow or over the weekend. And she finally starting to get it. And I said to the older lady, I said, look, if you want to spend $5,000 today, that's absolutely fine. But I says, I would not do that here. I would not do it at this time. Because the market right now is so volatile. I says, how far do you ladies live? Oh, about 20 miles. I said, okay, how often you come into this area? A couple times a week. Okay, fine. Come in next week. Spend another $1,000 or $2,000. Take your chances where this market's going. This is the time to start accumulating more silver now. You're getting your cost average down. And when silver goes back to $60, $70, $80, $90, I said, then you start cost averaging. Then you start breaking even. You're getting towards the break-even points. Then the lady who was screaming at us, that finally clicked. It finally clicked. She got it. Then her question was to me, well, when do you think silver will go back to $70 or $80? I said, ma'am, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know when. Okay? Nobody knows when. Then she really calmed down and she apologized for screaming at my team. Screaming at me. My friends, don't go into your local coin shops and scream at the local coin shops. Your local coin shops have no control over the price. No control over the price. Now, we hear all day long on different channels, the spreads are too wide. Spreads, yes, I think in some cases the spreads are too wide. But what's really going on behind the scenes, my friends, is a lot of these coin shops are taking people's product that wants to sell for whatever reason. Because they're pissed off, they're upset, they need to sell. And I really dislike the people that need to sell because they're not getting a fair shake here. What's happening at the coin shops, my friends? A lot of the coin shops are taking your products in. And calling up the wholesaler and say, okay, wholesaler, what are you willing to give me this for? Or they look on the screen and they base in their price based on the wholesale price. So the coin shop's going to make a little bit of money off here. So it's going to not be as good as the wholesaler's price. And that's where the confliction comes in. It is not us at the coin shops are trying to rip people off. Do I think some coin shops take advantage and they have a little bit wider spreads? Yes. Okay, absolutely. Some coin shops are taking full advantage of the situation. A lot of these coin shops, and I've only got one email back. So thank you, Dwayne, for getting back to me with your response in an email. Are your coin shops looking pretty bare out there? They don't have enough inventory. They seem like they not carrying a lot of inventory because it's true. They're not carrying a lot. Most coin shops are not financial stable enough to swing this market. They're bringing stuff in. They're buying it from you. Be lucky to even buying it from you at this point. Not shutting you down. But they're flipping right to the wholesaler. And wholesaler is flipping. They're taking everything right now. They're not turning anything away at this point. So then I asked this older lady. I says, ma'am, did you do your research before you start? Your friends told you that you should get silver. You watched I says, how many YouTube videos did you actually watch? Oh, I watched a few. Did you do any additional research? And she said no. My friends, before people really start going heavy in this market, I'm asking people to do the research. Just don't listen to what I got to say. Don't listen to what another YouTuber has to say. Get as much information as you possibly can. Look, just because I say something, or another YouTuber says something, or you hear it on X, or you hear it on Rumble, wherever you hear information from, Google it at least. Google the information, my friends, before you jump in with both feet. Because when people don't cost average, it will come bite them in the rear ends. And it will happen every time. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. Do people not buy enough at one time? Yes. I'd rather see somebody who has quite a bit of money and undercut themselves a little bit than people who come in who drop $20,000, $30,000 at one time, and the price of the silver or gold, platinum or copper drops like a rock, which we've seen. I got a lot of my silver, and I'm not trying to gloat here, around $28, $32 an ounce. I was going quite heavy, and I was on another channel at that time, and I was urging people to buy. And we had people in the comment section on that channel. I'm waiting for $17 silver. $17 silver. I said, that ain't going to happen. $17 silver is not going to happen. And I said, I guarantee it's not going to, well, guess what? It's not happening. But we got to look at the silver price today, hovering just below $60 an ounce. We should be happy where silver price is right now. Yeah, you might have bought it more above 60. For the ones that bought it below 60, into the 40s, into the 50s, are very happy still. Some people say I should have cashed out at 121. Well, maybe. Maybe it wasn't just a blip right there for a little while. Can we get back to 121? Absolutely. I think it raised too fast. I think we're oversold here. I think they're trying to squeeze out every single last we can. Weak mind. And who I mean by they, I mean by the government. The government is gobbling up the silver, my friends. Why is so much silver leaving the COMEX? All right, $19 billion worth of silver at around this current price point. If you average it, if you took all the silver that's left the COMEX this June alone, at the current price, now we know silver's been higher than $59, $60 in the month of June. But it's over $19 billion worth of silver has left the COMEX in June. Who the hell is buying it all up? Who? Central banks? Elon Musk? Is it our own government? Well, I looked at that. Our government right now, according to AI, is currently not stacking silver. But what our government is doing right now, according to AI, we are stacking copper. But why aren't we stacking silver? Or is this something they don't want us to know about silver? Is it being swept underneath the rug? Is our government actually buying silver? Central banks? Or is China pulling the rug, sweeping it all underneath the rug, backing it all in? It's all going to China. And maybe India. Saudi Arabia is another big purchaser of silver. So is Russia. What are we doing wrong in this country, my friends? What is this country doing as United States of America doing wrong? By not telling their people they should be stacking precious metals. They want all the control, my friends. That is what they want. They want total control. That's why they want all these AI data centers. And just looked at another report today on AI data centers. Nearly 70% of the United States population that they polled do not want these AI data centers. Why aren't we above 70%? Where's the other 30% mindset thinking it's not about government control? Some people say, I don't care about AI data centers. Put them wherever you want to. But they don't want them in their backyard. Well, if you're not willing to put an AI data center in your backyard, don't give it to somebody else then. Don't take away people's farmlands. Don't take away people's water. Don't take away people's power. Because that's going to be another big thing. Has anybody got a notice in their power bill? Because there's another thing I saw online today. That certain electric companies throughout the states are sending people warnings about power this summer. Could have rolling blackouts, this, my friends. You know why? Because they're going to give it to the AI data centers. They don't care about you. They want to empower these AI data centers. Make sure they stay online. Just taking your water away from you. That's what's happening, my friends. Power bills are going up. It's not just due to inflation. We got to say no. Stand with me with this one. If you hear an AI data center coming to your neighborhoods or somewhere close by you, you got to get to the town halls. You got to get to your city meetings. You got to message them somehow. But I'm asking people to stay nice. There's no need to go in there yelling and screaming because that's not going to do any good. Be nice. But we gotta put our foots down with these AI data centers now. In my opinion. Yeah, AI is great. We get a lot of resources from AI. But what is the really thing behind it? It's about government control. That is the total reason for it, my friends. They want to know everything about us. Okay, they want the control of everything. They want to know every dollar you spend, every dollar you make, making sure you're not somehow cheating the government by a few cents here and there. They want it all, my friends. They want every gosh darn red cent they can out of us. Really? That's where silver and gold comes in, my friends. So if you're going to come into this market, silver, gold, platinum, and copper markets, have a good understanding. And if you're just coming in, cost average your stacks. Get as much information as you can. I'm pleading with people, and I'm pleading with people. Get as much information as you can before you all jump in hog wild. Get the information. The information's out there, my friends. Google it. Okay? Even if you gotta ask AI different questions. Information's at our fingertips. Let's use that to an advantage. Then ask different coin shops. I'm urging people to look up coin shows. Ask these different vendors at coin shows their opinions. And that's all it is. It's their opinions. You know, write the reasons why you're stacking for. Write the reasons why you're stacking. If one of your reasons is to get rich, scratch that right off your list. Because this is not why we should be stacking for. Trying to get rich. Show me a time in history people got rich off silver and gold. 5,000 year history. You don't get rich off of silver and gold. Okay? Can you get rich? That is a hard question to answer. Some people think, well, if silver goes to $500 an ounce, and I bought it at $50 an ounce, okay, I made $450 an ounce. Okay, but now look at the prices then of everything. We don't want silver and gold to go up fast. It's a hedge against inflation. You got to count inflation into the matter. And that's what silver and gold were designed for. Spending our money for 5,000 years, my friends. Well, maybe not the past 40 years, right? Since 1964 or 1969, really. It's been taken out of our history. Schools don't want to teach us the real value of money. They were more worried about teaching us how to write a check. And I think most people who are watching right now went to school and were taught how to write a check. But look at checks. Those are coming obsolete. It's all tap, tap, tap with the credit card. Tap, tap, tap with your cell phone. No more writing checks. Tap, tap, tap. And guess what? That's all connected to the internet. Well, what happens if the internet goes down for a short period of time? Even a few hours. It's going to cause chaos, my friends. You need something physical. But guess what? Most of these computer systems are connected to the internet. The cash registers are connected to the internet. Wi-Fi. That Wi-Fi system goes down, they can't operate. Okay? They can't operate. Well, then it's going to get back to using a calculator or your brain to figure out what stuff costs and how much tax is supposed to be on it. And I'm urging people, start asking your local shops, do they take silver and gold as payment? You'd be surprised how many shops are out there that will take silver and gold as payment. They may not advertise it. They might be stackers themselves. But we're going back. Eventually, we're going back to precious metals, my friends, as payment. At some point. Maybe not nationally wide, but more people know about silver and gold. We need to re-educate the United States here, at least. We need to educate more and more people about silver and gold. We get laughed at, but we get mocked. That's fine. But I'm going to keep trying to educate people every day. And this is why I put up with people's yelling at the shop. This is why I put up with it. To educate the population out there. And it's sometimes it gets on your nerves. Have to repeat stuff. There's so many people that seen one or two videos, or they get involved with their friends and saying it's going to get them super rich. And people make some, I wouldn't say bad moves, but don't know what cost averaging really means. And I've explained what cost averaging. Buy a little now, buy a little bit later, buy a little in a couple of days. That's all. It's simple term, cost average. Let's get into these copper deals. Before it's getting too long, I apologize, but I went on my rant, my friends. I got 4 copper rounds here. This one is the Tiger. These are all cat rounds. Tiger. This one is 500 mintage only, my friends. Bamboo Tiger. That one's included in this lot. I got 2 lots of these cat rounds. We're going to call this one the Blue Flame Tiger. 1,000 minted. This one is from the Odyssey series. We're going to do this one for the Black Panther Blood Moon. This one's also from the Odyssey series. 1,000 minted on that one. So you got 2 at 1,000 mintage worldwide. You got 1 at 500 only mintage worldwide. And this next one, I have no idea what the mintage is on these. We're going to call this the Mountain Tiger. Front and back. You get all 4. You get all 4, my friends, for $172. That's with shipping, that's with taxes, that's out the door. You pay today, they get shipped out tomorrow. I take PayPal only. If you want this lot, ask me for the 4-round cat lot. I'll get them out the door to you tomorrow. You pay tonight. You pay tomorrow, they get out, ship out the door Monday. PayPal only, $172, my friends. If you were interested. For the ones that like the wheat pennies, they're back in stock. 40s and 50s wheat pennies. 10 tubes of 40s and 50s wheat pennies. I fill these tubes right up to the top. Right up to the top. So you're probably going to get 52, 53 wheat pennies per tube. There are no calls, no damage coins, no holes in these coins, no ring damage. That's why I fill them up, just to make sure I don't overlook a coin and you get a call in there. That's why I fill them right up to the top. Because I don't want to upset anybody. I don't want to take advantage of anybody on this channel. That's why I give a few extra coins in each tube. Just to offset in case you do get a bad coin in the box. So if you want 3 boxes, I'm going to do $122 per box. Up to 3 boxes. Up to 3 orders. $122 if you want 10 tubes. You want 20 tubes? Just double the price. You want 30 tubes? Triple the price. Again, order today, PayPal only. Email me first that you're interested in the wheat pennies. I'll get them out to you. If you folks have any additional questions for me about silver, gold, platinum, or copper, reach out to me. I'm always here to help people out. And I'll be back tomorrow with the 98th 90% silver market watch report. Good luck tomorrow to everybody in the giveaway. If you're not signed up for the giveaway was done in yesterday's video. It's a little hint for you. Watch the video. Make sure you enter correctly. Good luck to everybody. Coin Shop Chris is out.